No, absolutely. And if people don't remember this, the Washington Post was quick to point out here that
Mm.
uh, the attack on Nancy Pelosi's husband follows years of GOP demonizing her, and they were quick to deflect about this attack, that this was about Republican violence, about a sanctioning attacks, and that when we asked questions about how a man ended up with another man in their underwear in the middle of the night with hammers and the police involved with no camera footage, as if we're in Epstein's jail cell once again, that we were somehow, dishonest. We were the ones that should be to blame because we have no sympathy for her and her family. But I don't know about you. I feel like this is another Jussie Smollett. This is a massive cover up where people are just trying to pull our strings and pull the rug from underneath us right before an election that's happening today.
Of course. Well, it's another Bubba Wallace. It's another Jussie Smollett. I knew it right from the beginning. I smelled a rat. The other reason, it's right before election. So anytime right before election, a major story like this is concocted, especially some sort of a hate crime against a major Democrat, you can almost believe it, hands down, it's going to be a scam. And the writing was on the wall. Look, are we supposed to believe that Nancy's gate guarded, security guarded mansion in San Francisco that has apparently 28 security cameras and guards, armed guards, are we supposed to believe that the cameras just suddenly shut down? Are we supposed to believe that somehow someone was able to sneak through the back door or into an unlocked window, go all the way upstairs into this guy's bedroom with a hammer, and he doesn't wake up this whole time? And then he finally wakes up when he's shouting, "Where's Nancy? Where's Nancy?" Nothing about this story is plausible. They couldn't even make it plausible, like a little bit plausible, right? This doesn't happen. We're supposed to believe that somehow the security cameras are all shut down, just like what happened with Jeffrey Epstein. Are we supposed to believe that the cops, when they called 911 somehow, by the way, they keep changing their story. First, the guy calls 911, and that's the reason the cops came. Another story is that there was a wellness check called on them, and then that's when the cops came. So the story was changed so many times, but nothing about it is believable, Elijah.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting here is that when Biden weighed in on it, you knew that it was sketchy because he was like, "Folks, before I begin, I want to take a short pause to send our love to Nancy and Paul Pelosi." He's been on the phone, and as you've seen the news, he was attacked in their home. And when I spoke to the speaker, she said that he's doing okay. He went to the hospital, was operated on, and he seems to be coming along well. He's in good spirits, and the whole family is there. While the investigation is ongoing, the news reports indicate it was intended to be an attack on the house Nancy Pelosi lives in. So he's already changing it. The third ranking person in the United States in line of the president. It's reported that the same chant was used by this guy that they have in custody that was used on January 6th in the attack on the U.S. Capitol. And there it was. Immediately, they were trying to take this and turn this into a massive stunt to make it seem like this was an extension of the January 6th insurrection, or like they call it, the Democrats' big erection, because they have a huge boner for this event, and they always turned on anytime you talk about it, like, "Ooh, I love it so much." But again, just like Jeffrey Epstein, how they, I found out they changed the story too. They said the cameras weren't working that night, but it turns out they actually deleted the file accidentally. Like everybody, when you have the most important project in the world and you accidentally click delete and it says, "Are you sure you want to delete this?" And then you click it again by accident, that this story began to unravel when the president couldn't even keep his narrative. He went from a Nancy Pelosi's house to Nancy Pelosi, and then you go down the ladder, and immediately this is an attack on all America. This is terrorism. This is January 6th. And you see this constant need to demonize the right wing, the Republicans, and make us seem like we're all trying to kill the Speaker of the House with a hammer. This is insane.
Right. And another big clue, there's about 101 reasons why this story is a big fraud, but I'm trying to go through like 10 of them. But another reason is that, right away, instantly, they say this guy's a right-wing QAnon conspiracy theorist Nazi, right? Right away, they somehow knew this information. So again, right before a major election, and to a major Democrat like Nancy Pelosi, calling him a right-wing conspiracy theorist, QAnon guy, right away, this is going to be a scam. And then it turns out that that was wrong anyways. This guy's a radical Berkeley nudist. I'm not even sure what a radical nudist is. Like throwing their balls in front of people's faces? I mean, is it like launching themselves naked in front of people? I don't know. But a radical nudist is what this guy is. He's Berkeley. He's like a hemp and marijuana maker. This guy is not any kind of QAnon MAGA Nazi. But when they looked into him, he had all the leanings of a left-leaning freak. And again, this happens like clockwork every single time they pin some right-wing QAnon guy. It turns out to be the complete opposite. And then I just want to clear this up. They also said that he created some manifesto. He had a manifesto. It's like a recipe, how to create a scam. Okay, right-wing Nazi, QAnon guy, we're going to say it is. We're going to say he created a manifesto, like all of these shooters, all of these kinds of hate crimes. The guy created some manifesto. I mean, do people normally create manifestos? This is not like a normal thing. And it's so obvious. As soon as they said this guy had a manifesto and he had these fantasies of shooting Nancy Pelosi and other left-leaning Democrats, it's so obvious. They're not even trying to hide how obvious this is. And they think people are so stupid that they're not going to question it or think, wait, this has happened before. Like every single time some sort of hate crime is cooked up, a manifesto.
Yeah, we are stupid though, Deanna, because they come out immediately. Ilhan Omar, who I honestly think that she's a terrorist, but she said she was like a far-right white nationalist tried to assassinate the Speaker of the House and almost killed her husband a year after violent insurrectionists tried to find her and kill her in the Capitol. And the Republican Party's response is to either ignore it or belittle it. I mean, it's remarkable though, because number one, he wasn't far right. We have no indication the guy is even right wing. He's also and they say, because he was against the vaccine. It was Hollywood before 2020. Being against vaccines was literally a Hollywood elitist idea. And they would make fun of the right wingers for being stupid and having autism and getting their kids vaccinated. Like that was the joke. And then it says he's a white nationalist. Like the dude has a gay flag and he's connections to BLM. I mean, I have no idea where they got that. And then they say that he came to assassinate the Speaker of the House. Where do you have that evidence? This is not fact checked. This is not brought into question. The media is not investigating.
Sources say.
It's always that we're evil and that it's terrorism and that we want people to die, but they have no evidence at all.
No. Well, not only no evidence, but the evidence logically doesn't even make sense. Apparently there was a third person there in the original story. There was a third person there wandering around, and the third person is the one that heard all of this. And if you look at some of the first articles, it writes like some really bad romance or porn novel. Like he says, hey, Pepe or whatever, David DePipe apparently yells at Mr. Pelosi and's like, I got a hammer. I'm here for Nancy. Where's Nancy? Where's Nancy? Oh, she's not here. Well, I'm going to go bludgeon you instead. And then apparently Pelosi goes, okay, but can I go to the bathroom first? And he's like, okay, sure. And he walks down with him and follows him. He waits outside for him from the bathroom. And then he gets on his trousers. And then he starts hitting him as soon as the police come. I mean, the whole thing is just like a really badly scripted, weird gay romance novel that doesn't even make sense. Like who would know those details? It's just a source says this and a source said that and a source says that he says, where's Nancy? Where's Nancy? Just like January 6th. It's so made up. And then later, by the way, that third person that was supposedly there was no longer there. The cops apparently arrived when they were naked and wrestling with a hammer. But in the original 911 call, right, or two hammers, I think was the second story. But in the original 911 call, the guy says, yeah, I know him. He's a friend. So you know him, he's a friend, and you're not threatened by him, which was apparently the case in the 911 call. He wasn't afraid of him. But then the cops get there, and just in the middle when they're wrestling with the hammers and, wrestling nude in the hammers too. And if you question the fact that they were nude and they were two men, of course, now you're homophobic too. So we're homophobic Nazis for questioning the story.
Well, that was the weird part is that also we weren't saying there was anything wrong with that. Like two men wrestling in their underwear. We weren't shaming them. We weren't kink shaming. We're just saying, hey, it's a little bit sus.
This is what happened.
Yeah, one of y'all
it is a
getting
little
nailed.
sus. Yeah, and the gay bars close at 2 a.m. in San Francisco. It's word on the curb down there that Pelosi is gay and he has gay orgies and he has gay prostitutes. Elon Musk even retweeted an article about that before that was taken down. So it was most likely the fact that he knew this guy. This probably was a prostitute that was in his home. And the whole hammer thing, I mean, do we even know for sure he got beaten with a hammer? Have we seen any pictures of his face being beaten?
No.
What kind of an 82-year-old makes a full recovery anyways? And they found that out within hours. You know, the guy also was arrested for drunk driving a month or two ago, and he had another gay guy supposedly in his car. So everything about this story doesn't add up. It just doesn't add up. And then lastly, well, not lastly, there's a lot of things, but depending on how deep you want to go, this guy, this right-wing Nazi guy that they're pinning him on, he supposedly wrote this blog that was covered in QAnon type conspiracy theories. But the blog, it turned out some people did some sleuthing on it, and it's not that hard to find out with some fact checking. The blog was just created this past month. And it was this very fake sounding title, friendlyfriends.com, with all these very fake seeming posts like, you know, QAnon's the best and, you know, why I hate Nancy Pelosi and want to target them. It was all these just like very clearly made up titles that they did. You know, they don't even do a good job of hiding things anymore when they plot these fake hate crimes and scams. They do it very sloppily lately, right?
I really want you to be able to keep your heart in the right place, to be able to invest your hard-earned money where it matters. But what about your mind? Before we go any further, guys, I have to tell you about something amazing. So you might have heard of like Adderall or these prescription medications that get your brain working, but they're addictive and they have all these side effects. What if you could actually get rid of that brain fog, find ways to get a hold of your jitters, maximize your mental capacity, and do it all in a real way that's legal, that you don't need a prescription for, that's not going to be addictive, and actually helps you stay healthy? Let me tell you about Newtopia.com/offensive. This is freaking sick. So I've been using nootropics, and then I went to Newtopia, and they gave me this box, a 30-day supply. I opened it up, and I was like, holy crap. They gave me every type of sample of everything that I could get, from their nectar to their ultimate focus to their power solution. I mean, there's so many different packages in here with different types of nootropics that help my brain to work better. To put it into perspective, like you can get right here, the power solution, you can get Upbeat. This is for confidence, ambition, positivity. I took the Upbeat before I did this episode. I am upbeat. I don't feel jitters. I don't feel gross. I don't feel like I took too much caffeine. I feel amazing. Okay. You have the Apex, can bring calmness if you want that opposite effect. Maybe you want some more focus with the ultimate focus, intense drive, hyper productivity. This is not like some sort of a scam that says it's going to fix your marriage and make you $10 million, but this is the limitless pill. Okay, this is so amazing. When you check these out and you go to Newtopia.com/offensive, that's NOOTOPIA.com/offensive right now. Check it out and use my code offensive at checkout. It is amazing. The link's in the description. Get your nootropics, take a hold of your brain, and start utilizing 100% of your activity. Check it out. Get your box. Like, they even have this freaking, where is it? They even have like the Xamner juice. You spray this and it literally takes you immediately into a mood booster. It's amazing. So check it out. Go to Newtopia.com/offensive. Use my code offensive. Get your deal today. Get your 30-day supply. Get your box built. Check it out. Honestly, they're a sponsor of the show, and I really am excited because I've been wanting to sponsor for a long time. Go to Newtopia.com/offensive.